The best practices to follow when designing research questions, and how to ensure that they are effective. There are several best practices to follow when designing research questions to ensure their effectiveness. Define the research goals and objectives. Before designing research questions, it's important to define the research goals and objectives. The research questions should be aligned with the research objectives and help achieve the research goals. This ensures that the research questions are relevant and effective in achieving the intended outcomes. Use open-ended questions. Open-ended questions allow participants to express their thoughts and opinions freely. This helps to gather rich and diverse insights, rather than limiting participants to a set of predetermined responses. Open-ended questions also help to uncover unexpected insights and perspectives. Open-ended questions allow participants to provide more detailed and nuanced responses. Avoid yes, no questions, and instead use questions that prompt participants to share their experiences, opinions, and feelings. For example, instead of asking, "Did you find the website easy to use?" ask, "What were your thoughts about using the website?" Avoid leading questions. Leading questions are those that suggest a particular answer or bias the participant's response. These questions can lead to inaccurate and unreliable data. It's important to design questions that are neutral and unbiased to ensure accurate and reliable data. Avoid questions that suggest a certain answer or that make assumptions about the participant. For example, instead of asking, "How much did you like the new product?" ask, "What are your thoughts on the new product?" Keep it simple and concise. Research questions should be simple, clear, and concise. This helps participants to understand the questions easily and provide accurate responses. Complex or convoluted questions can confuse participants and lead to inaccurate data. Avoid jargon or technical terms that may confuse participants. Keep the questions clear and concise, and avoid complex sentence structures. Pilot test the questions. Before conducting the research, it's important to pilot test the questions with a small sample of participants. This helps to identify any issues with the questions, such as ambiguity, bias, or confusion. Piloting the questions also helps to refine and improve them to ensure they are effective in achieving the research goals. Use a mix of question types. Using a mix of question types, such as closed-ended, open-ended, and scaled questions, can help to gather a range of insights and perspectives. Closed-ended questions can be useful for collecting quantitative data, while open-ended questions are better suited for qualitative data. Scaled questions can help to measure the strength of participants' responses. Use Likert scales for measuring opinions and attitudes, and use multiple-choice questions for demographic information. To ensure the effectiveness of research questions, it's also important to consider the context and audience of the research. For example, when designing research questions for a specific industry or domain, it's important to use appropriate terminology and language. Similarly, when designing questions for a particular audience, such as children or elderly individuals, it's important to use appropriate language and structure the questions in a way that is easy to understand. To illustrate the best practices of designing research questions, let's consider an example of conducting user research for a healthcare app. In this case, the research goals might be to understand the user needs and preferences for using the app, and to identify any barriers or challenges they face. To achieve these goals, the following research questions might be designed. What are your main health concerns and goals? How do you currently manage your health and wellness? What features or functions would you expect to find in a healthcare app? What challenges have you faced when using healthcare apps in the past? How easy or difficult was it to use the app? What improvements would you suggest for the app? These questions are designed to be open-ended, unbiased, simple, and relevant to the research goals. Piloting the questions with a small sample of participants can help to identify any issues and refine them to ensure their effectiveness in achieving the research goals. Overall, effective research questions are clear, unbiased, and well-designed. By following these best practices, user researchers can create questions that provide valuable insights into user behavior and preferences. In conclusion, designing effective research questions is crucial for any user research project. As a user researcher, it is essential to follow best practices such as focusing on the research objectives, ensuring clarity, avoiding leading or biased questions, and testing the questions before conducting the study. By following these practices, user researchers can create questions that elicit valuable insights from their research participants, leading to better understanding of user needs and preferences, and ultimately informing the design of better products and services. Additionally, it is important to remember that the research questions may evolve over time as unexpected findings emerge, and it is important to remain flexible and open to change as needed. Thanks for watching. Please like video and subscribe to our channel.